Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
The boys in the newsroom gotta run and bet. Get the widow on the set. We need daddy laundry.
Oh, welcome back to this 15th day of August, right around 10:30 in the 618 RiverBender.com. CJ Nasello here with you. Stephen Peterbaugh, Basecamp Alton, hanging out with me in studio. Man, how's the summer been?
Man, it was, we were busy. We're trying to keep up, now it's back to school, so now we're super busy. So we're not usually open on Monday and Tuesdays, but we're going to go ahead and be open.
Wow.
We were open yesterday, had quite a few people come through, even though they're not used to us being open. But yeah, so we'll be open again today, trying to just get those back to school shoes out and keep it moving, man.
I didn't even think about that. That's awesome. You guys are always moving, going to sneak conventions, buying some more shoes, bringing them over. How is just all of that? How are you able to kind of maintain it all?
Yeah, it's good. The industry is just creating so many different avenues right now. It doesn't have to just be the physical store, the physical selling of shoes through the door. We can go do it online. We can go to events, so blah, blah, blah. So that's cool, man. So we're really just trying to explore different avenues, want to get a website going so that, we're getting more people, more following online. So we're getting a lot more online orders, a lot more shipping. So
Right on.
So yeah, that's kind of the move right now, man. We're never stopping. I know that.
So how many years have you been in business now? 3 or 4 now, right?
It's been 2. Two? Oh, wow. It's like 2022 was like kind of when we, 2021 early, and then, so then obviously we had a few difficulties. So I say 2 years, next year will be like our 3rd year.
Right on. Well, it seems like you guys are always growing too. And then the following you have where people love going. They don't want to go anywhere else but Basecamp.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think that the physical store helps out so much. You can come in, the people want that, that in-person experience. You can do all this stuff online, but when can you do it? 10 minutes down the road, 15 minutes down the road, Right, and if you have an issue, that's my biggest thing. You can't go into Nike's, brick and mortar and go, what the hell, man? Not all the time, no.
So
Nike's actually not that bad about it. It's the secondhand websites like GOAT, StockX, eBay. Those are ones you're going to have troubles with just because, you got to imagine how much shit they're dealing with.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Nike's actually really good at it. They just give you your money back. They got so much money, they don't care. Just keep the product, take the money. We don't want any issues,
Wow.
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing this week.
It's like those driver scams, I shanked one and broke my shaft. I need a new driver.
That's true. I know a guy who got a whole new set of irons doing that. So, this is great. So, what I think is awesome is that you guys found more than a niche. This was a community that was just needing to come to Alton.
Yeah, I agree.
And with that, how have you seen just the people's kind of taste and knowing that they have an option that's not, I hate to say this, it's not finish line mass-produced product.
Right.
They're getting a good quality shoe.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the goal, is to create some exclusivity, get some different items that we have a couple shoes that released only in Asia, so we try to get stuff like that. That's kind of the goal. So, you said something about like taste and flavor, and that's cool because Alton does actually, it's fun for us because Alton does have a flavor, it's not just like, we're not just selling the mass-produced shoes every single day, day in, day out. It's not the same shit. So, people come in, they get different models, different brands. So it's not just a Panda Dunk every day, an Air Force One, we're selling different stuff. So it's cool. That's what Alton really brings to the table. They make it tough on us to keep up, and the surrounding areas for that matter,
Yeah, well, the way you dress, I think, shows off really the community and, the way they look and the way we look.
Right.
And I think that's a huge point of it. And when you get kids coming in taking pictures outside the store, all that stuff,
Cool.
it shows their love for your place, but also,
sure.
That's got to help you guys immensely.
Oh, absolutely. We've like 100% been, through you, obviously, we've had a couple news articles, we've been on here, but we're pretty much, 100% word of mouth, so yeah. And I think that's what, I've said it on here before, like we're trying to go grassroots first and foremost. Like we're not going to go bot 1,000 followers on, Instagram or whatever. That's not, we can do that online if we want. We want to do it right here, physical locate, so.
Well, and too, I think you're right. To build a foundation, you have to keep it localized first.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't just throw Mark Zuckerberg $100,000 and say, hey, all right, give me 50.
Build my brand.
Yeah.
Right. We still don't have a logo.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we still have yet to figure. It just says loading, so I guess we're still loading.
There you go. Hey, we're figuring it out as a tease. Well, take me through the growth. I mean, you moved into this new storefront right here,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and how has that been for the move? I mean,
it's been huge, man. I mean, obviously, it's right there next to the Telegraph, so it's right there on that main road. In my eyes, that four-way stop right there is probably the busiest intersection in Alton. It sees the most traffic, hands down, from going to Grafton, blah blah blah, across the bridge. So Route 3, and so yeah, it's just like I think people have felt a little bit more comfortable to park in the big old parking lot and not come down Market Street where we got bumps and moguls and people are getting fender benders just for driving down their Chargers or Challengers down the road. But so yeah, it's been great, man. So we're with that being said, we are still expanding. So we're gonna get another side to the store that we're in now. We're gonna jump on over to the other side. We're gonna have both sides. So one side is gonna be strictly for vintage and used shoes.
Wow.
And I would say used hats, accessories, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to come into the storefront now, but you're going to come through a little doorwell, and that's going to be all brand new shoes, all brand new clothes, everything like that, all the, kind of maybe higher end stuff too. So it's going to be two different segments, and it's going to be awesome, man. The store's too small, like we get 10, 15 people in there at a time.
You're pretty jammed up.
People are elbow to elbow, so we just got to keep it moving, man.
Man, that's awesome. So when are you guys anticipating that?
Like I've learned in business, nothing ever happens as you expect it. Right. And I've also learned never try to push things too hard, so October was the move, but it's not looking too likely. Obviously before Christmas would be super ideal. Just because Christmas will be another, you got from the beginning of the year, you got tax season, which is big, and then you got back to school, and then you got Christmas. So, those are kind of the three big cycles for our retail, industry. But so we want to get in there before Christmas. If it doesn't happen, not a big deal, like I said, and we'll get in there first thing next year and really do. We still I've never had a grand opening. I've always just opened one day, never really teased it, just said, hey, we're open. And so we're going to finally do a grand open, do a bunch of door busters, do a bunch, maybe have a DJ there, throw a bunch of steals out, free stuff, blah, blah, blah. So try to gather a big old drawing, for the new grand opening, really build it out really well. We've never really our interior design is product, so I kind of want to go a little bit deeper, try to make it look really, really professional and keep it moving, man.
Dude, that's awesome.
I'd
be excited about that. So with that being said, I mean, this is an opportunity. Are you now, the last time you talked with me, I think you said something about co-signing. Do you still do that?
It's funny. We do to a certain degree, but we've kind of created enough capital ourselves to where we can own the product,
Right
so
on.
But dude, without consignment, we could have never made it to where we were at, that was huge. And, first and foremost, shout out to anybody that's ever brought a shoe through our door, whether they wanted to sell it, whether they wanted to, consign it, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure we did. We always figure something out. If you bring a shoe through our door that fits the description of what we sell, Jordans, Yeezys, we always make a deal, whether it's a cash deal, whether we do consign it, whether we do a trade, that's what's cool. If you walk through Basecamp with, a fairly clean shoe they didn't beat up to, because that's the
Don't
big difference.
Don't cut your grass in them and then bring them into base
and we'll figure something out, man. So that's what's cool. I just sold this morning. I'm gonna go drop off 47 pairs of shoes, and they're all lightly worn pairs of shoes that people brought through our door that we purchased with cash. We did a trade, blah blah blah. So it was kind of cool. We were I was bagging them all up there, and I was like, man, that's cool. 47 different people brought this shoe in. I'm selling them all one lump sum to somebody, but we keep those used shoes moving, and it's been cool. The used shoes have been something new. That's why we kind of want to. We started with used shoes. Don't get me wrong. We started with used shoes, and then we got a little bit better following, so we started doing dead stock, brand new, and now we got to find that perfect mix, so everybody feels like they can find something, whether it's $100 or it's $1,000, we're gonna have some good options.
That's awesome, man. And I think it's a huge incentive for the people, because I'm thinking back to school, I got kids, and they all need new shoes. Well, hell, take some of the ones that they look nice that you have bought them Jordans last year or Yeezys, bring them back into Basecamp. Yeah,
you heard them, and that's testament to about 5 or 6 people that have done it in the past
Really?
week. Oh yeah, just come in like. Kept the shoe nice, one kid, I clean them all the time, so they're coveted items anymore, man. They're art pieces. I've been calling them lately, some of these things.
Well, they really are, man. I mean,
they're turning that way. A Grateful Dead dunk. You don't really want to wear that fuzzy dunk, you just want to spend $800 and put it up,
That's a painting. What are you talking about? It's not Picasso's anymore. That's the Grateful Dead dunk on the wall, man. And you're right, though. Your industry is so fascinating. I mean, the whole sneaker industry really is.
It's gone from 0 to 100 quick, man.
Really has. Like I remember, and this sounds stupid, but whenever Pawn Stars did the episode of the sneaker collection, and I went $1 million for what? Well, then I started looking into it, and you got all these things. Well, then you got the mining that goes on online to get these brand new releases.
Yeah.
There's a mix of
body.
Yeah. I mean, how are you able to navigate? I mean, because normally an industry specific to technology, and you have that, but
correct.
It seems like everything kind of funnels into this.
And I think that's people ask me day in, day out, where do you get your shoes? And there's no real answer, whether it's botting, whether it's going to an event, whether it's somebody bringing it through your door, there's just the opportunities are endless now. So that's what's cool about the industry. And that's what it makes it hard to keep up because they are doing a lot of, crazy collaborations that are super hard to get your hands on. So you're working all day just to get one shoe for, and you got to pay $500 for it. So that's what's cool right now, man. They're just.
It's the chase.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just like antiques, It's like, Alton is very known for its antique, Steve's Antiques, blah, 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 all those big antiques up on Broadway. And this is a modern form of it, and that's why we're trying to get that vintage side going a little bit more.
Yeah.
I always told people, like, if somebody comes in, if 10 people come in a day and all 10 people buy something, like, that's not really right, Like, you don't really want that. You want somebody to come in and be like, man, like, I almost wanted that, but I didn't, I'll come back next time, see what they got, It's all about the hunt, the chase. Oh, wow, they got it here, my size, good price. I've always wanted this. Boom. Then that's going to make it that much easier to buy it,
Without a doubt. And too, I think, like I said earlier, I mean, your cross of vintage and new, it's no different. You take a walk down Broadway on a Friday night, you'll see people wearing vintage and brand new and look modern. It kind of showcases who we are.
That's awesome. Yep.
Well, and now on top,
I agree completely.
Now on top of Steve's Antiques, I do have a little thing. Do not take a girl to Steve's Antiques on the first date. I did that. That was the biggest one.
Really?
Antiquer. I said, okay, we'll go antique.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she was so creeped out, Steven. It was like
it's a crazy building. That building is different, but you didn't find anything?
No, we didn't even find love, man. It was over. I swear to God, thank God we didn't meet on a dating site because I would have been on the local news. Like, local creep takes me to stone building. Awful.
3-story stone building with a bunch of crap in it.
With no lights and dust. Oh my God.
Oh man, Steve used to sit back there behind his register.
Dude.
When they were closing down,
that was tough. On
Matt Bauer, man, we lived at that place, dude. We had so much fun in there, and we found stuff that he probably didn't even know he had.
Right. Talk about a good dude too. Yeah. I mean, just a legend.
Yeah, he was.
Now, circling back, what's funny is a year ago you were my first guest on the show. We're now a year in.
That's
crazy,
awesome, dude.
but
you guys have grown unbelievable too. It's awesome to see, dude. You put in a lot of passion, a lot of hard work. So.
I appreciate it, man. Well, it's just a reflective point because it's really about the interviews, but and you guys coming on doing cool things and me just kind of highlighting them. But with that being said, you guys have different ways you're going to conventions and doing stuff. So for the folks that maybe are not too familiar yet, take us through that process. I mean, so you're going and dropping off 47 shoes today,
right?
You got sneaker conventions all the time. Take us through that.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're definitely been trying to hit sneaker conventions more because we are growing a lot more. So like I said, it's so hard to keep up with getting all the relevant shoes, all the shoes people want in the right sizes, blah blah blah. When we do get them, they sell right away. So we need another. People are like, oh, when are you going to get that again? It's like, well, we just had it yesterday, but you missed it, And so, the sneaker events are huge because there are a lot in the Midwest. That's something. I think that's something the Midwest brings is they want to do bigger events like this, New York and LA, that stuff happens every day, every weekend, blah, blah, blah. Where here it's a bigger deal, so a lot more people gravitate towards it, what I mean? So Ohio, Indiana have some really cool events. So yeah, we try to travel around as much as we can, and it is hard with the store, because you want to put the store first and put store hours first, That's something that is tough, but we obviously have to buy shoes and keep up one way, you know, or another. So luckily, I have a lot of really good online sellers, man. Like the other night I was just on Instagram, you know, and I probably bought 16 pairs of shoes, you know, just because I'm looking through people's stories, people's posts, seeing shoes, blah, 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 you know, and ordering shoes online. So obviously that's kind of the easiest way. We get it shipped to us, blah, 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 get out and stuff. But we are going to an event here soon because when we need certain types of shoes, you can't just go source certain types of shoes and be like, oh, I got 10, 15 of the same shoe. Right. It's obviously very random online. So when we go to events, we kind of have a set list of what we want to get. You know, obviously you try to get a little bit of variety too, but that's more like a strategic play. You know, when you go to an event, you know there's going to be a ton of options. Yeah. So that's kind of when that's when those come in super handy. Like back to school right now, we didn't go to the event. There was the Greater Sneaker Society event. Unfortunately, we were out of town, and we like I was out of town, and my buddy was like, we were like, you know what, we'd rather have the store open than close the store and go to the event. So I kind of wish we did go to that because we missed out on a bunch of shoes that we needed before back to school. But either way, we're going to hit another one. And our goal from here until Christmas is just stock the hell up, you know? There you go. We're just going to stock up, man.
With that being said, about 2 minutes left. What's the one shoe that's been your holy grail since you opened?
The Holy Grail, like
your most prized, you know, since it's come in the door. I've always wondered that.
Yeah, my most prized. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably the Year of the Rabbit, and I mentioned it earlier, and it was an Asian only release, and I just kind of pulled trig and bought it online for, you know, I paid a good amount of money for it, you know. But it's just one of those things you're never gonna see. And the only really reason I say that is because it's one of the most complimented shoes that I get, you know, because when people walk in like, oh my God, what is that? So that just goes to show, nobody's ever really seen it. It dropped in Asia, right? You know, they did the Chinese New Year, so that it's called the Year of the Rabbit, and so it's just stuff like that, stuff that other people gravitate to, and like, well, you know, that's warming for us, you know, because it's like, oh damn, we brought you know, a product in here that somebody was like, oh wow, we've never seen that before, you know, like that's really cool. So a shoe like that, you know, something like that for sure. Well, and I think they all mean a lot, dude. They really do. Like I love, like I have to flip them, you know, but I love to keep every single shoe that comes in.
They're like dogs when you adopt them.
I'm a collector at heart, man. Right. You know, so.
And that's why, dude, I mean this. Before I let you go, to be able to say in 2023 your brick and mortar is successful, it's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, no, I mean they make it tough for small businesses to, you know, and that's testament to all the people who've helped, you know, come through and really shown a lot of love, man.
One, building really a brand. I mean, people talk about brands and you can pay for one. You can't. You got to do what you're doing and have a following.
Yeah, and especially in a small town, you know, like you know, there's all this online fabricated stuff. Like you know, even when you see a brand, that doesn't necessarily mean they're doing good. You know, like, just because you see it all the time and they got all these promoters and they got all these things, that doesn't necessarily mean they're doing good. You know, so
it just means that they got enough credit to last another 6 months. That's about it. And really, I mean that, dude. What's the social media for people to reach out? Maybe just check out your inventory.
Yeah, at Basecamp.Alton on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. And then, like I said, the website is not here yet. We're probably going to do a Shopify. Just Shopify. Right on. Super simple. A lot of these huge boutiques use them, like Undefeated and all these massive worldwide. So probably going to do Shopify and just, you know, really to be 100% honest, I don't want to push like a ton of online orders. No. It's just more work for me. Right. But I just want there to be kind of a catalog for people to be able to see. And I'm going to be 100% honest, we're going to price on the website, we'll price it about $20 higher than what it will be in store, you know, because we want to incentivize the process, you know, like we're putting in work, we're taking pictures, we're the
fees too, if you got to do credit card.
Yeah, luckily that's what's cool. I mean, there is a monthly fee with, but there's no individual transaction fee, which is cool. That's how like Square is and stuff, like our POS. Worst. But yeah, they cornered the market. I've found out, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, if we could create our own POS, which is cash. I mean, if we want to go the Bon Air route and say cash only, but you're going to miss out on some sales. A lot of people use credit cards now. They want to get their points. They want to get cash back, blah, blah, blah. So you got to have that. But like I said, it's more so to be a catalog because a lot of people will message me, hey, what do you have in 10.5?
And then you can see.
Back then, you know, back at the old store, when we first started the new store, it was nice. You know, we had 15, 20 options. Now we might have 50 shoes in size 10.5. I can't go individually take pictures of that, send it to people. they might not even buy one.
Why am I taking a picture of this?
So yeah, it's more so for a catalog. Obviously, you'll be able to order it online, be able to get it shipped out, and we will hold true to like being $20 cheaper in store, just because we want to incentivize you to come to the store. Because you come to the store for a certain shoe, might get something else, and that's the beauty of it. Might come in for this certain shoe, but then saw another one that you haven't seen in a long time.
Maybe.
You're like, maybe I'll switch it up. So that's the goal, man. That's the goal.
Right on. Stephen Peterbaugh, Basecamp Alton.
Yep.
Just congratulations on all the good stuff.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Looking forward to the expansion. When that happens, stop by.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll talk about it again.
We'll take a quick break. More of our daily show rolls on around the corner. We wrap up the Tuesday that was in downtown Alton. We do that after I hit this button.